Good afternoon. It is almost 4 o'clock, so I'm just starting a little early. Let me get set up or find myself on my Facebook so I can see my live, and then we'll get started. Let's see. There I am. Make sure I turn off my sound so I don't get any feedback. And it is 3:59, so welcome. We'll get started in just a minute. If you are joining me on a replay, you can go forward a minute or so as we get started. I'm waiting, and we'll get started in just a minute. Sorry, I had to take a quick sip of water. So it is 4 o'clock. Welcome to Stampin' with Jen's Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. My partner in crime, my friend and stamping buddy, Tammy, was on earlier this morning on her YouTube channel. She did a beautiful, I guess it was a double gate card. I didn't quite catch the type of card it was, but it was a fun fold. And today, and she did a beautiful one with some of the new paper. Today I am going to the catalog and pulling some designer series paper or pattern paper that we haven't used in a while that is still available for this year. And it was introduced a year ago during, I think it was either the September to December catalog, mini catalog, or during one of the online exclusives. It's called Splendid Autumn. And it has got a boatload of different colors of papers. And where is my packet? I can show you some of them. I've used a lot of it, but it's got some beautiful scenery. Hi, Patty. It's got some beautiful scenery and some autumn colors. I actually, to be perfectly honest, my favorite, all of them, is this one with the daisies. And I have, I think, all 4 sheets left. No, I have 3 of the 4 sheets left because I'm afraid to use it. I have to find that special time to use it. I don't know if you're like me on designer series paper, but I don't always love it, chop it, because I hoard it. So, but welcome, and we're going to be using that along with stamp sets called The Right Words and Impressions in Bloom. This is my go-to for my Thanksgiving thankfulness cards. I used it last week for my Thanksgiving stack, cut, and shuffle. But I use it because it has the I appreciate you and the thanks, and I was trying to save a little money. And then Right Words is a great one for all sorts of things like birthdays and just thank you, you're so kind. And actually there's some great sympathy card sayings in here. Hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories, or forever loved, forever remembered. Great sympathy sentiments, along with some other great birthday sentiments and things like that. Hi, Tammy, welcome. So we're going to be using those 2 stamp sets, or I used those 2 stamp sets. I'm going to be using the You're So Kind from Right Words today on this one. And I haven't cut any of my paper yet because I want to show you how we go through cutting them. And, oh, goodness gracious, give me one moment. There's one of my cards. The other one fell over. So let me grab it off the floor, or off the, off one of my shelves. This is our puzzle card we're going to be doing. It's really fun. I was inspired by a fellow demonstrator in my Love to Stamp group, Patty Dolan, who did this card. I just love how it sort of folds together and comes apart, and it's perfect for standing up, although you can't. I'll show you how it stands up like this. You know, if you wanted to, I didn't think about it until just now, but you could have a sentiment on the inside, and if you wanted someplace to write so that they can stand up and display it without seeing all your handwriting, you can always put a piece of blank cardstock on the back in order for you to write your message you want to write. So I have this one with beautiful fall colors. I used crushed curry and very vanilla for this one. This one, I love this one. I used Blackberry Bliss and Blackberry Bliss ink as well, and a basic white cardstock in the middle. And I just love how it allows you to put these together so you can see the whole scenery, but it also comes apart and it's sort of everything. Oh, I'm glad you like the fold, Patty. Yeah, I have to admit with you guys, I was really struggling to find a fun fold that I wanted to do. I had a couple other ones that I tried and it just wasn't gelling. So then I got back and started looking and I found this one by Patty Dolan. And so I'm excited to do this one. So I'm going to go from the very beginning. I don't have anything pre-cut because I want to show you some fun tips and how you can get the most out of your 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So let's go ahead and do this. The card base, I'm going to need the arm out here. The card base is 4 1/4. You know what? I'm going to pull, I don't want you guys to get motion sickness, but I'm going to pull my camera up just a little bit. And that way maybe you can see more since I'm going to be doing a lot on here. So, and if that doesn't work, oh, I see it's working now, a delay on my screen. But we're going to go at 4 1/4. So it's 4, and then it is, you got your 4 1/2, which is the middle mark between the 4 and the 5, and the second longest is 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut 4 1/4. And it looks like you can't see that very well. So I'm going to move this down a little bit. All right. And then we're going to cut this at 9 1/2. So our card base is 4 1/4 by 9 1/2. And this extra piece here, perfect for sentiment scraps. So if you keep a snap, this is a perfect size of scrap to hold on to for sentiments and dies and so forth. So I keep those. Now we're also going to cut, before we do any squaring, we're going to do all our cutting first. And now for the panels for our puzzle, when I say panels, it's these pieces here are our mats. It is 2 1/8. So we're going to go 2, and then the second longest right in between the 2 and the 2 1/4. It's really hard to see on here, but if you count them over, let's see if I can lift this up so you can see it. Our 1/8 mark is, let me get a pen, and we have our 2 here. Our 2 1/8 is right here. Our trimmers go by 16ths. The 16th is the smallest. The second smallest is the 1/8. Third smallest is a 1/4. Then our 1/2, and then our whole mark. So, all right, we're going to go to 2 1/8. And we're going to cut this wide. And the nice thing is, and I'm going to go ahead and fold this in now because I don't need it anymore. I'm going to go 2 1/8. Let's see. And this piece that's left over cuts in exactly, if you cut it in half, it's 2 1/8. Each piece is 2 1/8. So now we're going to cut 2 pieces that are 2, and we have the 2 1/8 wide, and we're going to go 2 1/4 inch long. So they're almost squares, but not quite. And we can get our 2 1/4 by 2 1/8. We can get both of those. We need 2 of those. And let's see, make sure those are the same. Yep, those are the same. And then we need a 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. Let me double check that. Yep, 3 1/4. And we can get, you can't get a full 2 out of here. So we're going to go ahead and pull this other piece. And what that does is it gives you, you can basically make one card with one 8.5 by 11. You have all the pieces you need plus extras if you want for scraps to do sentiments down the road. So we have these 2 and these 2. All right, now this one, you have to make sure, this one, because it's almost the exact same. When we go to put it on, you need to make sure you have it 2 1/8 high and 2 1/4 wide, because otherwise it could be off by a little bit and you're going to have problems putting the card together. All right, now let's go ahead and cut. We're going to do this. We're going to switch these because we're going to lay those out. for later. Now we're going to cut our designer series paper, and I love this one. I love the colors. Our designer series paper we're going to cut is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Now what I'm going to do when I do my 4-inch is I'm going to include, because there's this flower piece is so large, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the 2 inches off, because this is a 6 by 6. I'm going to cut 2 inches of the flowers off because I have plenty of flowers, but I want this part of the scenery as well. Don't do anything with this. We're going to use this in just a bit. We're going to cut it down. And then this is, we need it to be 5 1/4 in length. And because this is 6 inches in length, in order to keep it centered, which I like to do, especially there's some DSP where you really want the center because you don't want to lose too much on either side. This one we could lose a little bit more here, but I'm going to show you what I did. When it's 5 1/4, you can cut off 3/8 of an inch on either side, and it's easy to do on this right side, to the right of the track. You have 1, 2, there's 3/8 right there, and this will help the picture in the DSP be centered. And I'll just flip it over and do 3/8 here too. And then go ahead and cut this in half, 2 inches. I'm going to make sure I cut it. Yep, that's 4 inches. We're going to keep 2 inches, and you need to make sure you know which is the top and which is the bottom, because that makes a big difference when we're cutting it. So I'll turn it this way and leave it on my track this way. This one I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half because there's 2 inches left. I'm going to cut it into a 1-inch strip, and then I'm going to cut that 1-inch strip, this one, in half, so I have 2 1/2-inch strips to embellish my card base in the center. So we'll put that down there, and I want to keep these. I want to keep them in order so that this one can be on the top and this one can be on the bottom. So I'll keep those and set them aside, not mixing them up. Thanks. All right, back to our larger scenery. That's going to be a part of the puzzle part on the front. What we're going to do is this top piece, you're going to cut it at 3 1/8. So we're going to go 3 and then over to the second line. That's the 1/8. And slice it. Now keep it, when you put it aside, keep it in the right order, all right? Because this makes a big difference. And then this one, the bottom, we're going to do at 2 1/8. Let me look. Yeah, 2 1/8. So that's 2 and then to the second line. All right, and we're going to keep them together like this. And we're going to go ahead and now we're going to score. Now we're going to score. There's a lot of pieces and parts, but once you get everything cut and scored, it comes together very quickly. All right, on the 9 1/2-inch side, I'm going to move my cutting blade out of the way, and I'm going to score at 1 inch. Score at 1 inch, and then I'm going to score it at 2 inches, and then I'm going to flip it over and then score at 1 inch. So you're going to score at 1 inch and 2 inches on both sides along the 9 1/2-inch side. All right, now we've got all our cutting and our scoring done. So we're going to go ahead and put this together. And get a quick sip of water. All right, I haven't had enough water today. All right, let's get our bone folder. We're going to do a lot of burnishing right now. So let's go ahead and we're going to fold that first score line and hold it carefully here and push it in, because you want to make sure that everything lines up very evenly. Because if you don't, then you get a little bit of space. And then we're going to take this one and make sure your fingers sitting right at that score line and push back and burnish it. And I'm going to turn it over, and that looks good. All right, we're going to do the same thing here. Score, fold over towards the inside, and then we're going to score backwards and burnish that. All right. All right, here we go. Now let's put this together. Here is my inside. And I'm not going to do a sentiment on the inside. I'm just going to do a sentiment on the outside. But we're going to go ahead and glue our embellishments, our designer series paper on the inside. And I'm going to take, because if you remember correctly, we cut it and I put it so I had a top piece and a bottom piece. And I'm going to make sure that these line up. It's hard to do on the camera, so I'm going to lay it down, and then I'm using my multi-purpose glue because what this does is it allows some wiggle room so that I can make sure it's all lined up, just so. And we're going to go ahead and do a little bit down here, and then I'm going to get a baby wipe so I can wipe my fingers. I don't have a ton of glue as I'm working with the other pieces as well. All right. If you ask me, one of the non-essential, non-stamping, but essential to craft room supplies would be baby wipes, because that and the alcohol swabs, or rubbing alcohol and cotton balls or cotton pads, because they help clean your fingers when they get too sticky. Matter of fact, I've got a little glue right there. I'm going to clean that up too. All right, I'm going to just hang that over there. All right, we're going to let these dry before we put anything else. And now we're going to go ahead and move these down here. Now you need one of the, and I'm going to set them like this so I can make sure that I have them lined up perfectly. There we go. And they fit together like a puzzle piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue, and here's how this works. There's that, there's the top, and then we're going to have the bottom. And if you can see the pictures, what I've done is you can see that they fit together perfectly just to recreate that picture. Everything lines up. The line here, the flowers, the reeds here. And we're going to go ahead and glue our pictures on. So just a little bit. Now when you do this, make sure, yep, there we go. Make sure you have the right side, that you have the longer going lengthwise, because it's 2 1/8 this way, but it's 2 1/4 this way, which means it's only 1/8 of an inch difference. So you want to make sure you have the correct, these squares going the correct way. All right, now we're going to do the rectangle. I'm probably gluing this off camera, and I apologize. All right, we're going to put that there, center that. You can see how that forms there. So we're going to put this right up here. I'm going to move this up. We're going to glue this on. So, you know, what's funny is that these are called Splendid Autumn, but it sort of looks springy to me too, unless these flowers, and I'm not a big flower person, but unless these flowers grow mostly in the autumn time. I'm not sure what kind of flowers they are, but this does look like a really pretty sunset you would see in the springtime as well. So not all the colors in this Splendid Autumn set are perfect for autumn. Some of them are perfect for springtime too. All right, and we're going to center that here. All right, we're going to set those and let those dry a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and cut these. And where are my scissors? Oh, there they are. Excuse my reach. I actually cleaned that part of my table before I started this. And we're going to turn it over and just cut those pieces off that are hanging off the edge. Toss those. There's the perfect area for you to think. It's amazing. I guess I missed it originally. Oh, this fold. Yeah, I was going through and I found one, I liked it a lot, and I clicked on it, and lo and behold, it was Patty Dolan's. And so I'm definitely tagging Patty in my blog post so you can see some of the other amazing cards that she does. She does amazing cards. So check her stuff out. I'm going to put this right on the inside. And I have glue on my fingers again, so I'm going to wipe those clean so they don't get glue on my other pieces up here. Before I glue anything on, I'm going to stamp my sentiment while this is drying, and I'm going to use Mossy Meadow and You're So Kind. I think I need to re-ink my Mossy Meadow. It's looking a little dry. I'll have to pull out and do some re-inking of my stuff before if I have to take any of these on trips. And then we're going to fit this one. It fits right here. There we go. You're So Kind. Ugh. I got a little, I don't know, little mark above there. So we might take a couple of, I don't know, maybe we'll, you know what? I have, oh, that's Old Olives. That's not going to work. I don't know. We'll see. We might not do anything with it, but we'll figure it out. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to attach our puzzle pieces, so to speak, to this folding tab right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive. And again, I'm using this instead of tear and tape or Stampin' Seal, because this gives us a little bit of movement as we're attaching it. And so let's go ahead and we're going to make sure it squares up on the top and the side. So if you look at it from the back side, I've got it squared up, and there we go. So we're going to push down on that. Then we're going to take this bottom one and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to square it up. I don't know if you guys can see that. Square it up like that. So, all right. All right, there we go. Now let's do the other side. You're so not going to miss red rubber, and not for that reason alone. Yes, very much so, because we don't get those little edges on the photopolymer. You only get them on the red rubber. And you know what? Some of this is my fault because I haven't refreshed my Mossy Meadow in a very long time. And so I was pushing down really hard on it to get some ink on it. I probably should have checked it before my live here, and I didn't. All right, now, because we have the rectangle on this side, we're going to put the square opposite of it so it fits in. And then we're going to put this rectangle here, and that matches up. So let's go ahead and put this rectangle down here on the bottom. We're going to match it up to the edges again, as such. And then we're going to take the square and butt it right up against the edge. So you can see that there's nothing sticking out over the edges here. And we're going to push down, and there is our puzzle card. It's so easy. Once you get everything cut, the most time it takes is getting things cut and scored. After you cut and score, it's so easy to put together. I just love that. So let's see. I'm going to see if I've got some embellishments that we might be able to use with this. Let's see. You know, I've got butterflies that we might be able to put on it. I've got, no, I don't want to use, well, do I have Mossy Meadow? No, that's one of the ones I don't have. Let's see, folks. We're improvising. It's beyond amazing. It is amazing. Oh, wait a minute. Rose Sparkle Those look like they could be Mossy Meadow. Or Muted Palette. We have Mossy Meadow. Oh, here we go. We've got Mossy Meadow right here in our Muted Palette dots. So let's go ahead and pull these out. And we're going to add a little embellishment to try and distract the eye from my little ink issue. So let's go ahead and we're going to put one, let's see, right here. Do another one right here, and we're going to throw another one. It's going to be a really funky triangle, but we're going to put another one right up here. Let's see. I hope that distracts. I don't know. What do you guys think? Those look like good spots to put, or should I put another one on there? This one's not down 100% yet. Maybe we can use, I love this dental pick because it makes it easy to put them. I almost like that better. I like that one better. So, oh, you can't see it. Sorry, I bring that back in. But yeah, so there we go. There is our thing. And let me show you my other ones a little bit more up close. And I'll have all of the supplies on my blog, but not for just for this one, but for all three of them. And I'll have all three pictured on my blog as well tomorrow. So this one to me is the one that screams autumn the most. This screams autumn to me, but this screams spring to me. So I'm not sure. Well, thank you, Patty. I'm glad you think it's fabulous. You know, I have to say I can't take the design of the cards as credit. I just love copying and redoing, and I don't believe in recreating the wheel. You just go ahead and use the wheel for what it is. So anyway, there are my cards. I'm going to go ahead and give you my blog. You're going to have, everything will be listed on my blog tomorrow, www.stampinwithjenn.com. Stampin and Jenn both have 2 N's in them. And thank you. I'm so glad you think they're gorgeous and you love them. All the information for all of these cards will be on my blog tomorrow, as well as there will be a link to Tammy's, and she used the beauty, I can't remember the name of it, but it's it just came out today, and it's beautiful paper, brushed with beauty, or I can't remember, Tammy, what it is called, but it's beautiful paper and it's beautiful flowers, beautiful colors. So she's did her card on that today. So check it out as well. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. It'll be Veterans Day. So we look forward to seeing you then. And thank you for joining me today. And thank you for watching the replay. If you're watching the replay, brushed with beauty is what Tammy used today. Beautiful colors. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great weekend and a great week. Have a good day. Bye-bye.